I lost my letters. Can you go find Combo for me?
At ease, everybody, and welcome to a brand new video series brought to you by Murphy's Vault CCGs. I'm Holt Jaren, also known as Captain Powerhouse, and today we're going to be embarking on an epic journey to find out the answer to the age-old question: what is the best combo deck in Legacy? With me today is our co-host and resident Legacy expert, the one, the only, Jaren Dunner.
Hi there, Holt. How are you doing today?
Yeah, I'm pretty good. How are you doing?
Yeah, I'm good.
Brilliant. Glad to hear it. Why don't you run us through what we're going to be playing today?
Today we're going to be starting off this series with one of the most iconic combo decks in Legacy, and that is Belcher. You can see the namesake card there, Goblin Charbelcher.
Well, before we get started, let me just say that for all you viewers out there, if you enjoyed the video, please make sure to like and subscribe to Murphy's Vault CCGs so you know when our new stuff is out, and check out other great videos that we have too. Right then, let's fire in and talk about this week's combo deck, Belcher. So, Jaren Dunner, run us through what this deck does. What's his game plan? How does it win? It looks like it has all sorts of crazy stuff in it.
Yeah, so I guess let's start with looking at the mana here. This deck only has the one land with your Taiga. It doesn't actually have to be a Taiga. It can also be a Stomping Grounds, as long as it's got the mountain and forest types and can come into play untapped. And to search that out, you've got 4 copies of Land Grant, which you can pay for no mana and instead reveal your hand and search your library for a forest card and put it into hand. So that searches out your Taiga. Then the rest of the deck, you got a lot of fast mana in here. You got some Lotus Petals and Chrome Mox. Chrome Mox, you can put any of your non-artifact cards. You can imprint them, and it's quite good for getting rid of excess land grants. You've also got Lion's Eye Diamond, which does require you to discard your hand, but produces 3 mana for you. Then you've also got some rituals with Rite of Flame, which turns 1 mana into 2, and then an additional 1 for each copy in your graveyard. You've got Tinder Wall, which is a creature that costs 1 green to cast and sacrifices to add 2 red mana to your mana pool. 4 copies of Desperate Ritual, 1 in a red, and it adds 3 red to your mana pool. 1 copy of Pyretic Ritual. It's basically the same, but with the Splice onto Arcane of Desperate Ritual, it's just a slightly better version. And then, sort of at the high end of the rituals, you've got Seething Song, which turns 3 mana into 5. We've got 4 Simian Spirit Guide and 4 Elvish Spirit Guide. So that really covers the mana of the deck. And then we've got 4 copies of Gitaxian Probe, which essentially makes your deck 4 cards smaller. It also allows you to see your opponent's hand, which can be useful to know if you should be going off, like if they've got a counter spell or not. And then you've also got 4 copies of Manamorphose, which essentially cantrips for free as long as you've got the 2 mana, and fixes your colors for you as well.
So this is just like, what are we using all this mana for? You know what I mean? I'm used to playing Death and Taxes in Legacy, where the closest thing I get to cheating on mana is an Aether Vial.
Yeah, so the sort of ideal win condition of this deck is Goblin Charbelcher. It's 4 mana to cast and 3 to activate the ability. And the ability is you reveal cards from the top of your library until you reveal a land card. Goblin Charbelcher deals damage equal to the number of non-land cards revealed this way to target creature or player, so that's typically going to be your opponent. And if the revealed land card was a mountain, then it deals double the damage instead. So if you've not been able to search out your Taiga, you only need to reveal 10 cards before revealing Taiga. And otherwise, if you've got it out of your deck, then it's just going to deal damage equal to the number of cards left in your deck.
So that's pretty much just straight up killing someone.
Yes, yeah. It's also looking to do this on turn 1 typically. Your alternate win conditions, you've got 3 copies of Empty the Warrens in the main deck, so you can just storm off and create 10, 12, 14 goblins, maybe more, with a good hand. And in addition to the 3 copies of Empty the Warrens, we've got 4 copies of Burning Wish, which allow you to search out a sorcery card from your sideboard, so we've got the 4th copy of Empty the Warrens in the sideboard there.
Right. So it seems like it's pretty linear. There's just tons of mana, a little bit of air in the form of Git Probe and Manamorphose, and then just 11 win conditions, pretty much.
Yep, that's right.
Okay.
Because we've got Burning Wish, we have a 10-card wish board, essentially, with 5 cards in the sideboard that are not Burning Wish targets. So let's start by going over the wish board here. As I said, they empty the Warrens as a win condition in the sideboard. We've also got some other win conditions and some disruption as well. So over here we've got Hull Breach, which allows you to deal with artifacts and enchantments. Also got Reverent Silence, which can be used to destroy all enchantments for just giving your opponent 6 life, as long as you control the forest, that being the Taiga, so you need to already have that at your deck. That's mainly going to be used for Leyline of Sanctities, because it's a pretty problematic enchantment, which if you're having to go for the Goblin Charbelcher kill is going to is going to hold you up a lot there. So
right, that makes sense.
Some more disruption. You got Pyroclasm, just a cheap sweeper that you can search out with the Burning Wish. We got Goblin Warstrike, which can be used after Empty the Warrens to sort of speed up your clock. So if you're able to make 10 goblins and attack once and then Burning Wish for Goblin Strike, then it means you don't have to get the second attack in. You've got Trash for Treasure, which gives you a little bit of added resiliency. If your opponent maybe destroys your Charbelcher or counters it, then you can Burning Wish for Trash for Treasure and sack one of your cheap artifacts to return Charbelcher to the battlefield.
Okay. So it's a little bit of recursion there in case it gets countered or something like that.
Yeah, exactly. And then looking at the last few cards here, we've got Diminishing Returns, which is essentially like a 4-mana Time Twister. And if you're going for Diminishing Returns, it probably means that Empty the Warrens isn't good in the matchup, because it's the same amount of mana. You might just need to keep spinning your wheels a bit, and if you do go for that, draw your new 7, you might be able to go for a Burning Wish for Tendrils of Agony in the board, because typically you're not going to have a high enough storm count from just your initial 7-card hand to go for Tendrils of Agony.
Okay.
The last couple of cards, you got Infernal Tutor to search out a card in your main deck, and then you've got your alternate win condition of Telemin Performance, which has a couple of different applications against different decks. The main thing that you're wanting to do with it is play it against decks with 0 creatures in it, so that it mills them out and then they'll die on their next draw step. And the other one is against big creature decks with Grizzlebrand and Emrakul, where you can just get one of those and put it into play. Grizzlebrand's especially good because if you're still at 20 life, then you can draw a bunch of cards and probably kill them with other cards from your deck as well.
I was about to say, if your plan is to go off with only a 7-card hand and you get to draw 14, that pretty much sounds like a guaranteed win, unless you get pretty unlucky.
Yes, yeah, basically. So that covers the wish board, and then the other cards that we've got a single forest, which is sort of a hedge against wasteland. Sometimes wasteland's not going to matter because you're looking to go off on turn 1 anyway, so if they waste your Taiga, then it's not a big deal because hopefully you've already got like 14 goblins in play. But in matchups with counterspells and wasteland, something like Grixis Delver, then it's likely that you won't be able to play such a fast game. So at that point you might want the forest just to sort of give you a little bit more like permanent mana source that's going to stick about, and they can't just take it off with wasteland. The remaining cards are 4 copies of Xantid Swarm. Goblin Charbelcher is pretty weak to Force of Will, so you've got 4 copies of this to kind of help you out against the counterspell decks.
Okay, so you basically, instead of trying to go off on turn 1 if you know it's a forest deck, you might just play a Xantid Swarm, see if they have to counter that before safely going off the next turn.
Yeah, and if they don't counter it and you get to attack with it, then you're safe to go post-combat. Brilliant.
Great. Well, I'm pretty excited to see this deck in action. This is, like I was saying, really not my style, but I'm pretty excited. So maybe we should fire into a league and see what it does.
Yep, let's go for it.
All right, we're back for round 1 of this competitive legacy league playing Belcher. So, what do you think of this hand, Jaren?
It sounds a little bit light on mana, but pretty tempted to keep this one. We've got a redraw in Gitaxian Probe, and if we can find something to jump us from 1 mana to 3, we can play this Belcher and activate it with Lion's Eye Diamond.
Are we on the play here?
We are on the play, yeah.
Right, so it has to be quite literally the top part of my library.
If we're going to go off on turn 1, then yes. I'm going to keep it, and we'll see how it goes. I think it's pretty close, and with the redraw and probe, I'm happy to give this a shot.
Nice. I like it. Risky. None of this consistency business with ponder or brainstorm. Just straight up what's on top of my deck.
Okay, alright. Let's see what our opponent's playing. Oh, okay.
So this looks like Maverick? Is that what this is?
Yes, this is a Maverick, which gives us until they play Thalia, and that's not a good draw for us. We're just going to pass the turn. I'm guessing that they're probably going to play Deathrite Shaman here.
Very astute observation.
Okay, so this hand's turned out quite badly, because what we needed to draw was mana, which our deck is almost entirely mana, and we've not found any. So it's going to be really difficult to win through a Thalia, which, I mean, the opponent might not play. We could play out Lion's Eye Diamond just now, and then they'll almost certainly play Thalia. But if we discard any of these cards, they will also almost assuredly play out Thalia. So I'm kind of tempted just to concede here, because I don't think there's a way that we can hope for them to play Knight of the Reliquary next turn.
Right.
And conceding now would not give them any information. And once they've put Thalia on the table, I just think we can't win. So that's probably a bad keep on my part, but I think we should just go to the second game.
Let's be fair. Part of this is how strong Thalia is, which is a position I think I'm going to advocate very strongly for during this series.
Well, I know that you are a big fan of Thalia, Holt, but it's certainly a thing that's holding us back here rather than allowing us to go off.
All right, so do you think we should just scoop it up?
Yeah, I'm just going to scoop it up and give our opponent as little information as possible. All they've seen is a Gitaxian Probe. Do we want Forest here? No, I don't think we do. We just want to go off on turn 1, and Taiga's the best way to do that. We're just going to run it back. We don't need to worry about Xanthi Swarms, because this is not a counterspell deck. This deck will play Wasteland, but I think we're fine just to leave Taiga in rather than switch out for Forest.
So I just wanted to take a brief moment to talk about what exactly we're doing here in this league. So we're trying to figure out the best combo deck in Legacy, and we figured the best way to do that would be to play some games, and then after getting a feel for the deck, seeing how it plays against some other decks, basically have a review at the end where we kind of rate it and kind of synthesize our data, because this is very scientific.
Yeah, we're basically scientists.
Yeah, basically, straight up. Like, no question. So I guess it's reasonable to think about, like that mulliganing situation where if we draw one more thing, we're golden.
Yeah, I mean, so we had like 2 redraws there based on how that played out. We had to go off before they had the chance to put Thalia into play. And our deck is 11 win conditions, 8 cantrips, and every other card in the deck is mana. So that's what, 60%? Yeah, like 2/3 of the deck is mana. So I think we're pretty unlucky to draw 2 cards there that weren't mana.
Yeah, I guess that makes sense. Like, if we have a hand of 7, 2 of those cards are win conditions, everything else is mana, or like a cantrip, right?
Yeah.
So that means in the deck, 9 out of 53 cards are dead, and the rest are reasonable, I guess, unless it's like 2 Manamorphoses.
Yeah, Manamorphose is the other bad draw.
So either way, so even if you include the Manamorphose, so 14, oh no, I guess, because there's 3 Manamorphoses left, that makes 12 of the draws we could have had off the top were bad, but the rest of them were good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I take those odds, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, obviously it didn't pay out there, but we're going to run it back, and our opponent has no idea what we're doing. So we've got a turn 1 Empty the Warrens, which I think is going to be good enough. We've also got a redraw of Manamorphose, so we're just going to keep this.
Yeah, seems reasonable to me. We get to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Warrens for 10 if we draw nothing off the Manamorphose.
Yeah, that's right. So I'm just going to go for Seething Song first.
Okay. And then we get to turn some of that and...
Yeah, we'll go with green-blue, I guess. That's actually not too bad. That gives us the extra 2 goblins, and gives us a lot of mana on the table as well, which can be nice, so...
Goblins. I must say, Empty the Warrens actually has a really soft spot for me. In Legacy, I always played up in Texas, and I used to always play Modern Death and Taxes. But then I realized one day that Modern Death and Taxes actually isn't that good. So I now play Storm, so Gift Storm, and I absolutely love Empty the Warrens. I actually much prefer killing with it. It's not better, obviously. Grape Shot is far safer, but I think Warrens has gotten me out of so many kind of difficult spots that it's earned a special place in my heart.
I'm just going to see what they're working with, because if they play a Thalia next turn, then we won't get to play this probe.
What is Scrib Ranger?
Scrib Ranger's a card with protection from blue, and you can return a forest you control to its owner's hand to untap target creature.
Okay.
It's pretty good with Deathrite Shaman, because it allows you to get like multiple activations of it. It also got Stoneforge and
Surgical.
And Canonist. They had a Wasteland there, did they? They do.
Yep, there's a Wasteland there.
I'm going to cast this and get the Taiga, but I'm not going to play it.
Okay, that makes sense.
I think we're pretty good here.
I think you're pretty good, Jaren. I think this was a lot of heavy lifting on your part. I don't think we'd have 12 goblins without you playing Belcher.
Yeah, this is all me, and I appreciate you realizing that, Holt. That means a lot.
Okay,
so they're surgicaling their own Windswept Heath.
Maybe they must have some sort of out in the deck, and they're just trying to get rid of lands.
That's what they did. They removed the 3 in the deck.
Woo!
They might have also just wanted to see what they were getting. They don't have a huge amount of turn 1 interaction. They've got the Surge because they showed us. But yeah, I think we're going to need to go off on turn 1 again. That's going to be the plan. So we're just going to stick with the Taiga rather than the Forest.
Okay.
It's just, if we go for Charbelcher without searching out the land with a land grant, or just having it in our opening hand, then it's going to be a lot more difficult with the Forest.
Right. Because you have to flip 20 cards then?
1, 2, 3, 5. And a redraw? Yeah, I think we're going to keep this. We get to put a Goblin Charbelcher into play on turn 1.
Have a land, I suppose, as well.
Yes, yeah. And we're going to get to draw something else from Gitaxian Probe.
Okay, so we have 2 draws on top. Probably if one is well, they might have a discard spell here. Yeah.
Though we do have the Burning Wish and the Goblin Charbelcher.
Yeah, I was about to say, actually this hand kind of lines up pretty well against Thoughtseize.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I think they have to take the land grant here, which isn't really what you want to do, but I think it's what you have to do to try and take you off mana. Because I think actually the temptation would be to just like take Belcher. But looking at the hand, I think it's right to take land grant.
Yeah, land grant might well be correct. Or if they have a Wasteland, then... No, actually, I guess they probably just want to leave the land in the deck rather than take, say, the Spirit Guide.
Yeah. Well, geez, it's so tough as well, though, because even if they take land grant, if your like top deck is a Lotus Petal, it's like, rip you. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, they could even be considering Burning Wish, because although we can play Goblin Charbelcher on turn 1, we couldn't activate it. So that might be a consideration, because we could just go for turn 1, empty the Warrens. I think we've got enough mana for that, or maybe we're actually 1 short, but we've got the 2 draws. But we'll see what they go for.
Opponent's definitely tanking. Yeah, they take the land grant. Okay, let's see. Top of the deck.
So there's the Lotus Petal. And I guess we're just going to start by Gitaxian Probing them.
I'm so excited to see if we get another mana here.
Okay, so they've got Canonist and Thalia and Jitty. Jitty is good against Empty the Warrens, though it'll be a little bit slow to get into play.
This is pretty exciting. I'm really keen to see what we can trip into.
Okay, right, so now we've got 6 mana, so we could go for Warrens here. That would be storm count of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We get 12 goblins.
Isn't it 5?
So we've already played Gitaxian Probe.
Oh, yeah. Makes sense. Never mind. You got it.
Though we could also just put Goblin Charbelcher into play. I think it's probably better to go for Warrens here. They may have like a sweeper potentially. We'll put 12 goblins into play now, and then they can play one of their 2 drops, which will block 1, which means that we'll get through 11. And they're not going to be able to get Jitty equipped until turn 4. So yeah, I think we're just going to go for that.
That makes sense. I think it's also relevant that they're already at 17, so like even if you made just 10 goblins or they had a way to deal with a couple, it's still 2 Dragon Claw.
The main problem I have with going for the Belcher is we're only going to have 1 permanent mana source, which would have been a Spirit Guide in hand. So, yeah, not even a permanent mana source, but like one towards activating the Charbelcher. So, We'll go Seething Song here. Burning Wish. For Empty the Warrens. Yes, please. Empty the Warrens. And then...
Do not cast. Spirit Guide Beatdown.
Fortunately, we did not have the green mana to accidentally do that. Oh, yep.
Yeah!
And that's,
wow.
That's good enough. So, there we go. 1-0.
Brilliant. Well, we'll catch you guys in the next round. Alright, we're back with round 2. We took round 1 down, so currently 1-0 in this league. This looks like a good hand, right?
This is a pretty good hand. This is 14 goblins on turn 1 if we don't draw anything off our Gitaxian Probe, so we're definitely going to keep this one.
And we're on the draw this time, though, so there's a chance our opponent has a opportunity. You see.
Okay, so there's a reasonable chance they have days here, because this looks like Grixis Delver, though it could also be Check Pile. We're going to start off with Gitaxian Probe and see what they're working with, and if they do daze this, we can even pay for it with Elvish Spirit Guide. So, okay, so they have the Force of Will, but they don't...
But no blue card.
Yeah, and the Hymn to Turak tells me this is most likely Bug Delver that we're playing against here. So it's good that we've got a hand that can go off here and not have to worry about getting our hand discarded too much. Let's see what we draw off. I should have taken a screenshot of that. It was Deathrite Shaman, Force of Will.
Hymn to Turak, and then 2 fetches. I think it was a Misty and a Polluted Delta.
Yeah, I think that sounds right.
Testing my memory here. It's not often I get to look at people's hands, obviously. Playing Death and Taxes.
How much mana do we have here? We've got Lotus Petal, and then I think we're going to exile this.
So this lets us splice onto Arcane if we go Seething Song first, is that right?
It does, though I don't think that actually helps us with anything. Because we could
it adds a storm count, right?
Did you get an extra storm for splicing?
Well, yeah, because you get to cast a spell and then cast it again now. Oh, I guess it's the same as going one then the other.
And pay its splice cost if you do. Yeah, it just adds the effect, so I don't think we need to do it. And this allows us to keep Lotus Petal in hand.
Okay. I love that it asks, do you want to use Burning Wish's ability?
I'm going to answer yes. Yes, we do.
Yes, I cast the spell. I think that's what I want to do.
Though, actually, maybe if we had spliced it, how much more mana would we have got?
We would have gotten 2 more mana, I think is the way that works out.
Though we would have used the Lotus Petal, is that right?
Well, we could have used the Simian Spirit Guide, but...
Oh, I'm just saying, because maybe we could have cast the Simian Spirit Guide as well for 1 more storm.
I guess it's a fair point.
But too late now.
Seems pretty marginal. We get to make a majillion goblins.
Yeah, though they do get to play a second Deathrite, so they're going to get to block 2 a turn. And if they go for green here, they can also gain a little bit of life.
Oh yeah, because they get to eat the Tinder Wall.
Yep.
Seems still kind of like a losing battle, though. So they get to block 2. They're going to take 14. Gain 2 life? Is that what they get off Deathrite?
Yeah, that's correct. So I'm going to play this Lotus Petal out.
Well, I was just thinking, maybe it would have been right to splice if we had some way to get, like, black mana or something, because then we could have, like, Infernal Tutored for, like, Goblin Charbelcher. I don't know. I'm just thinking through tons of things that don't matter right now, because we have a gajillion goblins.
Yeah, we did have a lot of mana, but the main problem is we didn't have access to very much mana that wasn't green or red, so if we'd maybe had, like, a Lion's Eye Diamond, then we could have got there. We've won that game, and let's go to sideboarding. So, Bug Delver. I think we're going to bring in the Forest here, because they will be playing Wasteland. Also the Xantid Swarm. I'm just trying to think if we want to bring these in. I think on the draw we will. We might not on the play.
Okay. So, Xantid Swarm's obviously good for counter magic, and you're going to take out...
I think Manamorphose. I'm not sure that it's correct, but it seems like the most obvious cut to me.
Yeah, okay. Just because it's kind of like air, I guess.
Yeah, Gitaxian Probe cycles for free. There's no mana investment, whereas Manamorphose you do have to pay the 2, so if you're just trying to cycle a card to sort of see the next one, it can end up letting you fizzle if you're hoping to draw more mana to go off or that sort of thing, or into action.
Okay, so that makes sense.
Yeah, I'm just going to cut these Manamorphose and try it like that.
Ugh, that's a lot of Empty the Warrens.
Yeah, this is a pretty easy mulligan.
Just way too many win conditions there. This is a little awkward, but it's a lot better than the last one. Yeah, this hand's pretty rough, but I think we're going to keep it and see what's on top.
So we have no way to get to 3 mana yet.
Yeah, but I don't think we're actually that far away, so I'm going to keep it on top.
Alright.
Like, if we can get this Tinder Wall down, then that's 2 mana, and we also got this Chrome Mox in hand as well.
So opponent kept 7. Maybe we're going to see a Thoughtseize or something here.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
So I don't feel too bad about this. Again,
yeah,
we've
again.
got the Wish and the Charbelcher. They might take the Chrome Mox or the Tinder Wall, especially because we scry to the top.
Mm-hmm.
But, I mean, the probe plays quite nicely with this, because it just allows us to cycle 2 cards of our hand.
Makes us a little bit Thoughtseize proof almost. Like we have 2 win conditions, 2 mana pieces, and 2 unknowns, basically.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm actually really impressed at how well this deck, for, going off on turn 1, deals pretty well with a turn 1 Thoughtseize, actually.
I quite like the opponent's play there of taking the Chrome Mox as like sort of a permanent mana source. Let's see what the opponent has. They have Counterspell. Yeah, okay, so this is more Check Pile than Bug Delver.
Mm-hmm.
Just the sort of lands that we saw last turn made me think Bug Delver. If we lose this one, then going back to board, I'll take the forest back out, because we don't actually have to worry about a wasteland in this matchup. We're needing to find green mana here.
Yeah.
Our opponent doesn't have any more hand disruption, which is nice.
They do have a counterspell, but they also don't have something like, well, their Abrupt Decay they have, but they need to find green.
I mean, the best draw here for us would be the forest, because they're quite likely to counter...
Land Grant?
Yeah, though I think they're going to Snapcaster Thoughtseize here. Probably taking Simian Spirit Guide. Though they might take the Xanted Swarm if they don't want to have to counter it. Though I guess they have Abrupt Decay in hand also.
Was it worth it to... Yeah, I guess the Abrupt Decay is live now. Maybe you take the Tinder Wall?
I don't know. Simian Spirit Guide's the only sort of mana source we have at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
These get us a lot of mana, but we need to draw something first to sort of get on board with that.
I'm actually kind of surprised the opponent tapped out here.
Based on our hand, I think it was pretty safe, but I don't think they could have known that, considering we've seen a few cards since the first Thoughtseize.
Yeah, exactly. And, like...
See, that's pretty good. I don't really want to play it out because of Abrupt Decay.
Yeah, that makes sense. It does make him tap out of Counterspell, but...
Yeah, if we can get the Belcher down now, I mean, it's going to be difficult. They may well play Jace here, which I think is probably a bit aggressive, but... Okay, sure.
Baleful Strix.
Baleful Strix, and continue to hold up the Counterspell.
Chip in for 2. Classic Snap, doing what they do best, which is be a 2-1 for 2. It's very powerful.
So, I think what I want to do is...
Do you bait with the Land Grant?
No, because I think they'll counter Land Grant, and I think they'd be right to.
Do you play the LED?
I think we maybe actually have to play Land Grant. Hope that they don't counter it, and if they do, at least they use their counter spell on that, and we can maybe go off
next
turn if we draw something. So yeah, we're just gonna go for this. It's not great, but I think it's the best thing we can do here.
So the biggest thing is we need to get up to 3 mana so we can use these Seething Songs.
Yeah, if we get up to 3 mana, then we're in good shape, but I'm not sure how.
They still have the counterspell.
Yeah, they still have counterspell here, and Jace and Abrupt Decay is what we. Oh, sorry. Yeah, I scored it. That was a mistake.
That's right.
That's why you were telling me we still have it. Yeah.
Well, opponent's definitely thinking about this. Ooh, they gave it to us. Now I get to slam Xanted Swarm.
Well, I'm not sure we want to. And I know that sounds weird, right? But
you don't think it's right to force them to use the counterspell now?
No, because they can just Abrupt Decay it. And then untap with... so if we had a way to go off here, I would be all for it. We're kind of struggling here, so... Yeah, I think we're just going to pass. Okay.
I trust your judgment.
It might be correct to sort of encourage them to play the Abrupt Decay, and then we can play out Lion's Eye Diamond.
Another Thoughtseize?
Yeah, that's...
him to rock.
Okay, hope for the best. That's not the worst.
Yeah, actually it isn't too bad. Because I don't think... Well, I guess we could have gone for Belcher with LED, but LED is still good with Burning Wish, so...
Yeah, I'm going to play it out now. and then pass the turn. Expecting them to, to Abrupt Decay. That's fine. So we know they still got Counterspell on hand.
And Jace the Mind Sculptor.
Okay, so here comes Jace.
Oh, they tapped out of Counterspell? Surely they must have another land or something. Well, they're hoping to find one.
I mean, they might have Flusterstorm or Force of Will. Oh, yeah, there we go.
Busted.
What I want to do here is play Burning Wish.
Yeah, I like it.
So I'm going to exile Simian Spirit Guide and then play Burning Wish. Really just trying to bait the counterspell here. I mean, we're still not in great shape because assuming we're wanting to go off next turn, we're going to need to draw an extra mana source to have 3 mana into Seething Song, into Burning Wish, Crack LED. But
it looks like he's taking the bait though.
Yeah, and I think that's reasonable. So now we're just going to pass and hope for the best. And I mean, actually, we currently got 4 Storm, so if we do go for the Burning Wish here and we draw something else, then we could maybe go for Tendrils.
So you mean like go for Diminishing Returns?
No, actually just go for Tendrils because they're only at 12 at the moment.
Oh, yeah.
Thought Seizes, so...
I didn't even think about that. Good spot.
Yeah, it's maybe a little risky. Like if they did have a counter to counter one of them or something, they'd then be at 2. Though,
ooh, they're snapping for a Ponder?
Yeah, it looks like it, which I think is a mistake.
Or Hymn to Turok.
Oh, okay, yeah, no, that makes sense. If they were snapping Ponder, then that would be pretty bad. Okay, yeah, we're now just
Dunzo.
Yeah. So
all right,
that was a little unfortunate, but yeah, we were pretty close there, considering how far behind we were. So
yeah, I was about to say, I never felt like we were 100% out of that game.
Being that they're playing Force of Will and Counterspell, I'm kind of inclined to actually just take out the Xantid Swarms.
I was about to say, since they still have Abrupt Decay in, I was like, okay, like, I don't know, I thought maybe that was aggressive, but I guess it dealt with the Xantid Swarm, so fair enough.
Yeah, and it also deals with anything we want to play out, because it plays well with Hymn to Turak, because Hymn to Turak encourage you to play stuff out ahead of time. I think considering that they don't have days, they're going to need Force of Will in on turn 1. I think we're actually just going to keep this sort of as the original 60 and go with this.
Seems quite often that we're just sticking with the original configuration on the play.
Yeah, I think it's correct to do a lot of the time. This hand doesn't have any action, so we're just gonna mulligan it. Okay, this one's pretty rough as well.
They mulliganed as well.
They did mulligan, but yeah, we're gonna have to go to 5 here. Okay, we're gonna keep this and
be sad about our lives
and hope to scry into something better than a Tinder Wall.
I mean, to be fair, if we scry into Goblin Charbelcher, we just win, right?
Potentially.
Given they don't have Force or something, because we go Rite of Flame, Chrome Mox, Seething Song, 7 mana. Play Belcher.
So we're actually missing... We'd have to pitch one of the Seething Songs to the Chrome Mox for it to tap for mana.
We have a lot of mana now.
Also, notably, they didn't play a black source, so they can't Hymn to Turak us. Okay, they do have Counterspell up now.
Well, we got a lot of mana.
We do, and she's just going to play this out.
Surely we should wait on Chrome Mox, right? Just in case they have Abrupt Decay.
Yeah, I guess.
I guess they don't have a black source or a green source.
Yeah, they're pretty far away from it at the moment. They might. Yeah, I was thinking that they might play that. It's a good play from the opponent. Just start pressuring our life total since we're not doing anything and hold up Counterspell. The old Ambush Viper there.
Classic. Ooh, how's that, Ambush Viper?
Okay, well that resolved pretty quickly, so
maybe they don't have anything.
Hopefully they don't.
Yeah, block.
So we could actually sacrifice this and kill it, but I don't feel any need to because Tinder Wall does have another ability.
Yeah, I don't think that's necessary. You just go Electrickery. Gotcha.
Well, I mean, Electrickery it wouldn't be the worst against us considering. What's this Kolaghan's command? Yep, that's pretty good.
Can you use the ability then?
So it deals to target creatures blocking. So since it's post damage, I cannot use the ability.
All right.
So that's a bit of a setback to us.
It's fine, though. I'm actually kind of happier they're using it on the things that we have redundant. Ooh, can we go off now? Because we go Rite of Flame, Seething Song,
I think what we do is we go Rite of Flame, resolves.
I think we're in it now.
So if we play Rite of Flame, that puts us up to what, 4?
Yeah.
So this means that we won't get to play our Chrome Mox if this gets countered.
I think you just go for it. I think this is it.
Okay. I guess we should play around days, but I mean, it's not really something that this deck plays.
Yes! Got there, right?
Yep, that's the one.
Yeah. I'm happy. We won with the namesake card. Up until now, we've only goblin people, right?
Yes, yeah. I mean, being that you've got the 3 empty the Warrens and 4 burning wish, it's more common to go for goblins on turn 1, but it feels good to get the Belcher kill.
Feels good. All right, on to round 3 then. All right, we're back for round 3 now. We are 2-0. Let's keep this alive. What's going on here? How's our hand look?
Our hand's pretty bad. Yeah, we've got a redraw on Probe, but we're just going to ship this back and hope for better... better 6. So, starting off pretty bad here.
They mulligan too, though.
We did.
Maybe they're also playing Belcher.
I mean, we've got like a 1 in 5 chance of drawing a win con here. And we've got a scry, so the odds aren't too bad. And the rest of our hand is pretty good.
Okay.
So this is maybe a keep. Like, what's that, 40% to, if we look at it as 2 draws at 1 in 5? Yeah, whatever. We'll keep it and scry and hope for the best.
Live the dream.
Going down to 5 is pretty rough. We're going to put that on the bottom.
Classic. They also kept their 6. Do you think this is the mono mana Belcher mirror?
I sincerely doubt it, though. It might be. So, I mean, just not playing Land Grant there, because we've already scried 1 to the bottom. So I don't really want to shuffle that way, and I don't want to show the opponent our hand when we're not actually doing anything.
Come on, Burning Wish. Or empty.
Yep, I mean... Volcanic Island, Ponder. There's a reasonable chance we'll be playing into days here, but I guess the Simian Spirit Guide actually helps us play around days reasonably nicely. We've got 1 mana, 2, 3, 4, and a redraw of Manamorphose.
LED for Storm, so that makes 12 goblins?
Yeah, though, I mean, if we get to 4 mana, we probably don't want to cast Manamorphose, we just want to cast the Empty the Warrens.
Okay.
We could start by playing the rest of the stuff and then land granting last.
But if they have days, obviously that wrecks us.
This is difficult. Yeah, I think we're just going to go for it as though they don't have a counterspell here. Otherwise, I think we're just in really bad shape. So, I mean, this could be... Volcanic Island, Ponder, it could be Grixis Delver, it could be Blue-Red Delver.
Could be Show and Tell.
Could be Show and Tell, yeah. Yeah, which all of these decks run quite a lot of counterspells. Could be Canadian Threshold, the old Rug Delver. Yeah, it's safe to say that it's a counterspell deck. I mean, the only thing that it could otherwise be would be, I don't know, the Epic Storm. But Tez typically only runs 1 Volcanic Island, and to have it in hand is unlikely, so I'm thinking that we're probably going to get something countered here. The opponent isn't sure what they should be countering.
The opponent's tanking. Do we go for it then? I mean, they know what we have, so they can always play around it. Like, is it more dangerous to let them untap with mana? Probably.
Not necessarily.
Well, I guess, like, okay, let's put it this way. If they have force, right?
Yeah.
So, no matter what, we're going to have to play through it. So why not play through it sooner rather than later?
Well, because the longer we wait, the less they know about our hand. Like, that's the pro for waiting, but the con is that it gives them more time to sculpt their hand. So if they don't have force, then maybe they're just tanking to make us hesitate, you know?
I think we just fire it off. I think we go for it.
Okay, we could go Rite of Flame into Manamorphose.
That's what I like. Or, yeah.
Let's start with that. And this means we don't have to commit our whole hand if they do decide to counter this. And otherwise we get a card that they haven't seen.
It's intense.
Okay, there.
I think the opponent's messing with us.
Well, now we get to find out, so...
Oh, whatever, they just scoop here. Okay.
Right, okay, we're in pretty bad shape here. What we really want to draw here is like a spirit guide.
Yeah.
Which will just allow us to cast empty for 10.
Jeez. So this looks like I mean, there's always that, right?
Right, do you know what we're gonna do? We're gonna I mean, they have to counter this. They have to daze this, or actually, if they daze this, it's just equally as bad. Against this hand, we're not winning this game.
Is it just like academic at this point?
Yeah, okay, so that's the game. I'm just going to scoop it up here. I really don't think we can win through this, because now they're going to have Spell Pierce, Brainstorm,
Force.
and Force of Will. Yeah, I mean, we're just going to save some time and concede, because we're not getting there. This looks like a matchup that we're going to want Xantid Swarms for, so...
Didn't they mulligan as well? We both mulliganed that game.
Yes. Yeah.
That was such a stacked hand.
Well, it was just stacked against us. It was probably like not great against certain other decks, like more value-oriented decks that are looking for a longer game.
If, for example, you led Plains Aether Vial,
then they may well have countered it. They probably would have dazed that.
Probably dazed it.
Yeah.
Even against... Man, I don't want to play against that hand.
So, I mean, this could be Blue-Red Delver or Grixis Delver.
I think it's got to be Blue-Red, right, with the young PZ?
No, because Grixis Delver plays both these cards as well. So, and if it was Blue-Red, I think it's actually more likely to be Grixis. But if it was Blue-Red, then it'd be the sort of more controlling version rather than the aggressive tempo version. So,
yeah, it needs more.
We probably want the Forest here as well instead of the Taiga.
There's the one red Soulscar Mage, that's what it is.
Yes.
Nathaniel always bangs on about Soulscar Mage after going 12-3, wasn't it? Oh no, he went 12-3 in the Legacy JP. This one's on turn 1, no? Oh no, because Land-Grant doesn't do anything.
Yeah, though we're going to keep it because it's a good hand. I don't know, like probably the best thing we can hope to draw is like Xantid Swarm maybe? Off Gitaxian Probe. Xantid Swarm into another mana source would be great.
Surely it's Lotus Petal.
Well, that depends if they've got a Force of Will or not.
Yeah, I guess that's true. Well, they're mulliganing. They go to 6. Classic.
So, let's see what our opponent's up to. Okay, so if we find the source, we get to turn 1 Belcher them. Oh, that's pretty unfortunate.
Do we just resolve the LEDs now?
I think they're probably quite likely... What did they scry? They went to 6 and put a card on the bottom, so that's a good start for us. They're likely to play Ponder on turn 1 rather than Deathrite Shaman, unless they draw a Force of Will, say. I think I'm going to play out the Forest and play out 1 Lion's Eye Diamond. Sort of hedging here.
Okay.
Don't want to get hit by, say, Probe Cabal Therapy. We need to find something to cast this Rite of Flame.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. It has to be like a Lotus Petal or a Simian Spirit Guide or something.
Yeah, a Tinder Wall is also good.
Oh yeah, I forgot about Tinder Wall. So 12 really good draws.
So our opponent is cycling their Gitaxian Probe, then I get to see our hand.
I'm kind of interested by that. I think they want to ponder for a Force, but...
They've got 1 unknown card, and once this Probe resolves, it's going to be 2 unknown cards. I think the worst thing for us here is if they play Cabal Therapy and take the Charbelcher out of our hand.
Why combo? What is it that you like about combo? We could obviously be doing, like a video about the best fair deck in Legacy, which I think would be far more interesting, albeit a much shorter series, because we'd figure out in the first episode it's actually Death and Taxes.
Yeah, I think combo fills quite an interesting place in the Legacy metagame, because if you look at most Magic metagames, you tend to have control, mid-range, aggro, and then sometimes you'll have combo as well. Whereas Legacy tends to be... majority of it is mid-range. Like, a lot of decks would sort of fall under that category. You also have control decks, but you don't really have many aggro decks.
I guess combo decks are so fast, they're almost like the aggro decks.
Yeah, and that's why it feels like an interesting spot in the Legacy metagame, because the combo decks almost are the aggro decks. It's certainly, in terms of numbers, that's kind of switched around from most other Magic metagames. Just getting back to this here.
I was about to say, I do have another question for you. Do we go off now?
I think we should go for it. What I want to do here is cast this. I think I should have played Lion's Eye Diamond first.
Do you think it matters?
Actually, no, it doesn't. I was thinking about daze. If they daze this, it's a problem, but otherwise it's not. Okay, now I'm going to cast this. And the reason we can play around daze here is because we've got the spare Lion's Eye Diamond.
Yeah,
so we
that makes sense.
Crack one to play around daze, then crack the other to activate it. Though they may well have drawn Force Will and they're going to play Force Will, Pitch, Ponder.
Also, maybe not.
Hopefully not.
Belcher. Oh, they got the Force
so they
as
had
well.
Force, Pitch, daze.
So they pretty much got the two best draw steps they could have.
Well, yeah, I mean, I think what they were tanking on there was whether to daze to make us use one of the Lion's Eye Diamonds, and then Force, Pitch, Ponder. But I think they're probably right in the way they've played this. So
now we have to rebuild. Yeah, I feel like it's kind of weird with this deck, because if they have Force, like, they're never not... You can't make them tap out of Force, so you just have to make them use it. And then you go, well, here's hoping.
Yeah, and I mean, the Xanthid Swarms is the other thing you could do.
Mm-hmm.
This is game 2, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, we lost the first game to the most stacked hand.
Yes, yeah.
And clearly they had a couple of pretty stacked draw steps there between their Git Probe and their actual draw for turn, which ended up being Daze and Force of Will, which is like pretty nutty. They choose not to shuffle with their Ponder, so...
And we're in pretty bad shape here. Played Flooded Strand, Polluted Delta now, and Ponder. So we only know about another Deathrite Shaman in their hand. I don't like our chances here, but we'll keep playing, because otherwise we're definitely losing this match.
Wow.
Yep.
Okay.
That's pretty rough.
We don't even have an answer for that, do we?
Well, we do actually. We've got Hull Breach here, so they're going for Belcher, which is actually. Oh, I guess Pithing Needle is can't be mana ability, so that makes sense.
So they have only one card in hand.
Yeah, though they've got a lot of pressure with the Delver and the Deathrite here, especially if this Delver flips. No flips good for us.
Sick.
Okay.
Oh.
that was presumably their draw for this turn. Yeah, okay.
So we got our work cut out for us. But if we draw something like Burning Wish, do we just win here?
I mean, we're kind of hoping to draw Burning Wish so that we can get Pyroclasm, but I guess we maybe wouldn't go for that. But yeah, we didn't actually draw anything, so... And now we're really hoping that these Delvers don't flip it, or we're... Okay. And a Ponder.
That's a Ponder.
Yeah, I think it's safe to say that we're not going to 5-0 this league.
You never know, man. Something freak could happen. We have a turn. Is there any draw that gets us out of this?
I don't think so. We can't even cast Burning Wish if we draw it. I think we probably need like a Gitaxian Probe or a Manamorphose.
Is the
best draw, because then we can crack the Lion's Eye Diamond in response.
I was about to say, is it possible that we should be cracking LED on our upkeep? Oh, no.
No, because we can't do it in response to the draw, so...
Yeah.
But there we go. That's what we're wanting. Yeah, we're going to exile this, and we're just going to have to discard this. Here we go. This is our only chance. What do we want? We want probably red and blue. We're going to have 8 mana here. So if we draw Burning Wish, then...
We'll want red and green? Oh no, we still have the green, so we can
go blue for diminishing returns and draw a new hand.
Do we want that against a 4-stack?
I mean, it's not great, but we're really struggling to do anything here. Oh, we could Burning Wish for trash for treasure, but we won't have an artifact to sacrifice to it. So I think we want blue and red. I'm going to pay the life.
Priority.
Sack for red and blue.
Live the dream. Live the dream. Live the dream. Live the dream.
Okay, they've got a brainstorm in hand.
Nice. Nailed it.
So,
well, sick.
Yeah, I'm just going to scoop there. Because that's instead on board.
You just turn on auto yield. All right. Well,
was that why I clicked it?
Yeah. 2-1. Not bad. I can understand why you'd be hesitant to scoop. But I guess we'll have to get on to the next round. All right, round 4. We're continuing off of 2-1 with this league with Goblin Charbelcher, and this hand looks pretty good.
Yeah, this hand is pretty good. It's not quite there on mana. We've got 2 sources into 3 sources, and the Chrome Mox. So we could play a turn 1 Goblin Charbelcher here, or turn 1 Empty the Warrens. We're going to keep it in. We're on the draw, so we'll see what our opponent does, and also what we draw.
So hopefully, ideally, we're looking for just any free mana source here.
Yeah, I think Lion's Eye Diamond would be our best draw. Plains is good.
Oh no. Oh. I mean, happy for us, but sad for my soul. We're about to just crush into the dust.
Okay.
So should we play the Chrome Mox, Exile, Simian, Spirit Guide for extra storm? Is that right?
No, we want to Chrome Mox and exile the Empty the Warrens here, because we're going to go for a Charbelcher kill.
Oh, right, okay.
Well, I think that's correct.
Do we need to?
Well, because we can Lotus Petal, Tinder Wall, and then Manamorphose and see what we hit. We're almost there with one permanent mana source and an additional one. We've got an extra one at the moment.
Okay, so we can see what our redraw is.
Yeah, so...
yeah, that makes sense. Because I was about to say, I don't think Death and Taxes can beat 12 Goblins, just physically.
Yeah, that's fair. You are our resident Death and Taxes expert.
Yeah, this is the one thing I do have.
Oh, that was a really good draw. So now we have 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, no, wait, we're one short, is that right?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. That's why I was like, this seems a bit risky. But we can empty for a Majillion.
Yeah, we can. I think you're probably right that that's what we want to do here. So let's cast and...
Chrome Mox a thing. Probably Simian Spirit Guide, right?
Yeah, I think so. Well, hang on, right? So no. So,
be careful. I'm like seeing your mouse over. I'm like, oh my.
So we can make 12 goblins. We could exile this and then play Belcher, and we would only need one of these to survive. To exile these and activate Belcher.
I think it actually might just be academic here. I don't think Death and Taxes can do anything against 12 goblins.
Sure, though, I mean, what they do get to do here, right, is take up Aether Vial, Violin Mother of Ruins, and play, say, Thalia, or Stoneforge. Stoneforge could potentially get Batterskull.
Yeah, okay, maybe Belcher is better, but...
I'm going to go for it. It might be wrong, but that's on me if it is, so... I think with, like, what we have in hand...
This is just a little bit safer, and they have no way of interacting main deck with the Charbelcher. Unless they go turn 2, Leonin Relic Warder. Get some.
Yeah, I mean, this just sort of stops them from getting out of 12 Goblins, because 12 Goblins against a creature deck is not always good enough. Especially if they did have the Mother, they could take the extra one and then sort of continuously block and tap itself.
I will say, as a Death and Taxes player, I have literally never beaten 12 Goblins on turn 1.
I think I actually played against it when I was playing a little bit of Death and Taxes and got away with it with turn 1 Mother into...
Yeah, now we just win, though. All these spirit guides. So strong. Belcher. Yeah. Feels good, man. You can put those back in any order.
So I guess the question is, do we want the forest? They do have Wasteland, but...
I feel like it's just so much better on... turn 1. If our goal is to go on turn 1, like, yeah, Death and Taxes is a Wasteland deck, but...
Yeah, we're just going to run it back here. Pyroclasm is a pretty good card out of the sideboard here with Burning Wish.
Yeah, if we get too far behind and we just need time, then Pyroclasm can be our answer for that. Or you could go Telemann Performance, hoping to flip Thalia. That is an extremely powerful creature, so... I mean, I don't get why you're laughing. It's an absolute house.
Sounds bad.
It's so close to being good, though.
I mean, it's got all the mana, but I mean, just 2 LEDs it's not great here. And the Seething Song's not giving us, like, if one of these Seething Songs was, I don't know.
Rite of Flame?
Yeah, to Manamorphose and hit something else. But yeah, we're just going to ship this back. So that's 3 draws here, basically, because we get Scry, draw, and then Gitaxian Probe.
But we do have to find a green source to sort of start us off.
Oh yeah, I didn't actually even see that.
It might be okay, actually.
Right, this is a pretty risky one, but we're going to keep this. And
I mean, I love risk. They're mulliganing to 5. Nice. So now we got
to keep this. It's I don't like keeping it, but I think we have to.
Yeah, for sure.
It does.
And then we're clearly going to...
draws, but yeah, okay. Let's see what they got for us turn 1.
Clearly going to get Probe. And find, what's it called?
So, actually, I don't know if you've seen, but in Death and Taxes, people have been playing the 1 mana sort of white-blue bird that has a similar effect to Curse Catcher.
The Judge is familiar.
Yes, yeah, they've been playing that to give them some turn 1 interaction. So, let's start off with Get Probe here.
Okay, well, it's now or never, and...
I mean, they don't have a second land.
Well, I just exiled the Simian Spirit Guide. Oops. So
Oops. Well, here we go.
Oh, I also didn't screenshot that.
Matter Skull. We get to play the Tinder Wall no matter what, so we still have our Seething Songs.
Yeah, though assuming they do play Thalia, we will... rewarded.
Yes! Yes! Alright.
Oh, that was really lucky.
I mean, I just feel really bad for our opponent.
Yeah,
I feel actually quite guilty.
So you even get to keep the Simian Spirit Guide in hand?
You could Hull Breach, kill Aetherbow.
Yeah, I think we'll just go for Empty the Warrens this time.
Really? You sure?
Pretty sure.
Oh my gosh, that's so funny. Jeez, absolutely rewarded. Make 14 goblins on turn 1. This might be sort of an unpopular opinion for most people who enjoy the game of Magic, but I don't think even Thalia can get them out of this situation.
Well, they're going to try.
Well, they did draw the land, so...
I think they actually need Stoneforge Mystic here. Yeah, though I guess they needed the land as well, so... Oh, we can even cast Land Grant here.
Ugh. Get in there. Oh, Thalia, she's going to live through this combat, but...
I appreciate our opponent playing this out.
Yeah, I can't imagine they actually have an out, but...
Yeah, I'm just thinking, what if they, like, Flicker Wisp here? Though, again, they don't have the Flicker Wisp or the land in hand, so they couldn't do that.
Yeah, it would have to quite literally be Stoneforge into Batterskull. Oh no, Land Grant. Even if they go Stoneforge Batterskull, they're still dead on the flop.
Yeah, they're dead on board here. Yeah.
Yeah.
Though drawing the Taiga there wasn't that bad, because it meant we didn't have to, if we needed it, you know?
Alright, well, 3-1, not bad in this league. Let's see if we can round it out to a 4-1. Alright, final round of this league. We're 3-1. Let's see if we can round it out to 4-1. Hand is okay, right? We're just missing a mana source?
No,
I guess
not
we need
really.
mana. Yeah,
because we got like 3 of our win conditions in hand. We're really light on mana, because we could, if we draw a mana source, we could cast Goblin Charbelcher, but what we would really need to do is draw Lion's Eye Diamond as one of our draws, and then another mana source as well, because we are going to get a redraw of Manamorphose, but I think we should just ship this back and...
Yeah, like it's almost like we've already taken a mulligan with an extra Burning Wish or whatever.
Yeah, this looks a lot better, so we're going to keep this.
Sick.
And we're going to put Land Grant on the bottom. So
nice.
Hopefully not get that classic Modo bug, scry to the bottom, draw the same card.
Modo bug. Basic Island.
Basic Island. So, I'm really hoping this isn't Miracles. This is ad nauseum. It's not too bad. So let's start off with Gitaxian Probe.
It could be like Show and Tell, I guess.
Yeah, it could be. They also are quite... Oh, it's Standstill. So they don't...
And no force.
No force. Standstill's pretty bad against a lot of goblins.
Yeah. Make 12 goblins. Cool. I'm gonna cast Standstill.
We've definitely got the mana, though. We're actually pretty light on spells because of all these spirit guides.
Right.
But this is going to be, 10 goblins on turn 1?
So Get Probe, Tinder Wall, Desperate Ritual, Burning Wish. Yeah, 10 goblins.
Right, so we're just going to go for this here. And I think we're just going to leave the spirit guides till last. So let's just check we've actually got enough mana here, because we might not. No, we do. We've got exactly 6 mana here.
Yeah. Classic. It's fine science, Belcher. Ah, jeez. Feels good, right? It's kind of like just like walking through the motions, like knowing exactly what's going to happen. And what's going to happen is there's going to be 10 goblins on turn 1. It feels very therapeutic, actually. Quite secure, Belcher.
Their Mishra's Workshop's actually okay against this.
I mean, it ties up 2 mana every turn, though.
Yeah, it does.
So for them to change the game state, like, we still have a 3-turn clock, so...
Yeah, I mean, the best thing we can hope for is that they play Standstill, but I don't see that happening, so yeah, Brainstorm, sure.
I'm surprised they didn't brainstorm in response.
Well, they could have brainstormed in response to the Burning Wish, but we still had 3 cards in hand because they didn't know about the Spirit Guides.
Right, that makes sense.
Did I take a screenshot of theirs? Yeah, okay, so Brainstorm, and then they played Scalding Tarn, and now they're digging. This deck could well play a sweeper, like Terminus is probably the only relevant one that they might play.
Yeah, I can't imagine they'd have the support for Terminus, though. I will say I don't know much about Legacy Standstill, but...
Well, I've played against a sort of version of Miracles which included Terminus. Sorry, not included Terminus, included Standstill. So rather than it being like a...
straight Standstill deck, they just also had it.
Yeah, and I mean now, what are they? They're buying themselves enough time to get to 4 mana and cast like Supreme Verdict.
Chooses to shuffle. So that's good. Nice.
If we could cast that, that would be good.
It's fine. Eventually we'll get the 6 mana naturally. And then once we have them on 2 or 1, we'll just go ahead and Burning Wish for Tendrils. Easy.
No, just if this was like a Spirit Guide or something, we would just Burning Wish for Goblin Warstrike.
That makes sense.
Okay, it's not necessary, and we get there, and so let's just go to sideboard. This deck has Standstill should have quite a lot of counter spells.
Time to bring in the Swarm.
Yeah.
Swarm!
Yeah, I think we want it, because if we play Swarm and they play Standstill, then we don't even mind if they're drawing the cards if we're getting to like attack in first, because they still can't counter anything. Let's bring them in.
You know what's really strong against Standstill? Hull Breach.
Kills Mistress Workshop and Standstill.
Ooh, sorcery, the tech.
Sadly, nothing kills Standstill.
That's fair. I guess Standstill kills itself.
Activated abilities can kill it, but...
I guess you could stifle it.
No, you can't. I mean, you can, but it will re-trigger in response to the stifle.
Huh, that's trippy. I didn't think about that.
Okay, so we've got...
Turn 1 win.
Turn 1 win, and we're going to keep it. And we're going to Gitaxian Probe before playing Land Grant, because we've got it even if we just draw the thing. It's not ideal, but it doesn't actually change anything, but we just want to see what our opponent's working with.
Classic Island. This could be a Flusterstorm, Spell Pierce, lots of stuff. So let's check it out.
Okay, so they have Force of Will, and now we kind of have to hope that they counter the wrong thing, which is tough, because we're going to have to play Land Grant here, I think, unless we draw something good off Gitaxian Probe.
Couldn't we crack the Lotus Petal for Tinder Wall?
Ooh. So we could play Lotus Petal Tinder Wall, but if they counter that, if they Force of Will that, then we're in pretty bad shape.
But then can't we just go off next turn? The card they have to pitch is Counterspell, correct?
They have a Snapcaster also.
Oh, right.
Though they actually don't have the second blue source. I kind of tempted to just play Lotus Petal and then Tinder Wall, as you suggested. We could also just pass here. But yeah, let's go for this and see what they do. Okay, so that resolves. And now I think I just want to pass. Though, I mean, that's then weaker to, like, say, Swords to Plowshare, which they probably wouldn't have kept in. I think I just want to pass and take a draw now.
I kind of like just playing the LED and see if they make a mistake. Like, how much are we losing?
Okay.
Do they have a way to... yeah, that's fine.
And then pass now.
I think I'm okay with that.
This is also playing nicely around their Mishra's Workshop.
Nice. Okay. So now we have to work through Force and Counterspell. A lot of mana. I kind of want to cast something like Seething Song.
But then
I guess we have to...
Yeah, that'll just take us off a lot of mana, and they'll still have Force and Counterspell. So I'm just going to cast Lotus Petal and pass the turn.
Man, I can't believe they just drew the island.
Well, I mean, you know, the deck's got a lot of islands.
I know, but, like, that's pretty ideal for them. Like, not saying it couldn't have happened, but I'm more just like, ugh, that puts us in a really frustrating position where it's like, I think playing around the force is one thing, but being able to play around both is quite another.
Yeah, absolutely. We're definitely in trouble now.
Should we just wait until we have something like Burning Wish? Some sort of answer, like redundancy that's a finisher? Because I don't think, like, from how they played, I don't think they're going to counter our mana, right?
I kind of now want to play Land Grant, just so that they won't know future cards that we draw.
Okay, I like that.
So let's go for that.
Also, I guess it reduced the risk that we just draw Taiga and get wrecked.
And actually, I'm not going to play Taiga because sometimes Standstill plays Wasteland.
Does it?
Yeah, just because it's a way to interact with your opponents once you've played a Standstill. Yeah, we're just going to keep passing here. There's maybe an argument for playing Taiga and playing Tinder Wall.
I guess we can do that next turn as well, though. So at what point do you think we snap this off? Do we just go for it as soon as we find a second win condition?
Now that they've seen our hand, we almost need 3 win conditions. There's a good chance that they just won't counter mana now.
But obviously, if we draw, like, Empty the Warrens.
Yeah, then that's also the reason to... Oh, okay, yeah, that's perfect.
Sweet. So now they have to counter Xantid Swarm.
Yeah, they're really priced into countering it here.
F6, F6.
So that's the counter spell we know about.
They also have Snap Counterspell, I guess.
Yeah, they do. So they've got a lot of action here. I think our best draws is probably a bunch of Xantid Swarms off the top.
That'd be funny.
I'm just going to play out Tinder Wall here.
It's fine. Makes sense. I approve of your decision.
We do have a lot of mana now. Going to Snap Brainstorm? Okay. So if we have a look here, we know Snapcaster, Counterspell is gone, and Workshop. So there's a high probability that Plains gets shuffled away or has already been shuffled away. Got our Tinder Walls doing some good work here on defense.
Classic. No clock. How can they ever beat them?
Oh, yeah.
Myth realized.
Yeah,
buddy.
We're kind of in trouble now here. That's because that's quite a clock.
Yeah, but we have another Tinder Wall. If we keep on making Tinder Walls, how will they ever win?
That's a good question. We have all the mana here. We're now just looking for Xantid Swarms and more copies of Charbelcher or Burning Wish, or I guess ideally Empty the Warrens, though there's a good chance they have a Sweeper or a Flusterstorm.
Yeah, actually, if we top deck Empty the Warrens, like, how do they ever win? We have so much mana. We can play through a Flusterstorm.
Well, we do have a lot of mana on board. Yeah, we probably can play through a Flusterstorm.
Oh, buddy.
I mean, here it goes, right? This is...
Yeah.
So, are we splicing Desperate Rituals here?
I was thinking in that case, do we lead on Seething Song?
I don't think we do. I mean, we could.
Because if we do, then they have to counter it. And then we can do Tinder Walls, sack 2 Splice. And if they counter that, then we go Desperate Ritual.
Okay, so...
and we have, like, Storm of a Magillion.
So we're going to go for Seething Song here. So how much mana do I need here? Is this 4 to splice?
Yeah.
Because I think we only want to splice once here, right?
Yeah, I think so. Here's a consideration. Do we want to play Charbelcher?
I think we maybe want to play Charbelcher after Warrens.
Okay, so let's first Rituals, I think.
So we're going to Ritual and splice 1 on?
Yeah, I think that's right.
I don't think it's correct to splice on both.
Yeah, it's too much of a mana investment, I think.
And then we're going to do the other one?
Yeah, do it again. This just makes so much mana.
This also allows us to potentially keep some of these about if...
things go a bit wrong.
Yeah.
So now we go Goblin Charbelcher, right?
No, I think we go Warrens and then... Charbelcher.
Surely we want to do Belcher first for the mana? Or for the storm count?
Yeah, you might be right, actually. If they have the Flusterstorm, then we're making it easier for them to Flusterstorm it.
So Storm will be 7, because we'll cast Charbelcher. They have to counter it. We go to 6. Then we empty.
Oh, yeah, you're right. So, yeah, we're going to go for this here.
And we can always pay for it with LED as well. I mean, they might have something like Mindbreak Trap, I guess, but...
I think Flusterstorm is much more likely. So, how much mana do we have here? We've got 6...
8, 10, 11, 14, 15?
15, yeah, so we could pay for Flusterstorm. We could cast this, but then we're paying for less. Yeah,
I think that's actually... I think it's actually fine to cast it. If we want to.
I'd rather hold on to the Lotus Petal. I think this gives us like 2 extra green, potentially. Yep. So, yeah, we'll just cast it here.
Make 14 goblins.
Man, this has been a complicated match.
I'm actually still so surprised we're in it. Like,
yeah, I mean,
had to rip the Warrens, but
yeah, there's quite a lot of equity in waiting with this deck, especially against a deck that we're playing against, which is providing so little pressure.
Mm-hmm. Tinder Wall. That's what got us through this. I'm not even kidding. Like, we would be at a pretty low life total.
Yeah, because they've not found a second factory, they haven't been able to attack through our Tinder Walls.
Opponent is tanking about empty the Warrens. I think they might be doing the math on Flusterstorm.
2 hours later.
Oh no, please no Mindbreak Trap. Don't do it.
I feel like if they had Mindbreak Trap, they wouldn't have tanked.
Tapping 1 mana. So I guess Flusterstorm.
Right, okay, so.
1 eternity later.
We got that classic white mana floating.
Yeah, this deck has all the colors. I mean, if they have a sweeper, they have a sweeper. Okay, so
the force one.
The first one.
I guess they have to. Their only chance is quite literally to race. Does Myth Realize get flying? Or is it just a big dude?
It's just a big
monk
dude.
Avatar.
So, no, I guess they're not going to race here. They're just going to continually block. So we've got 12 attackers here.
So they'll take 9. They'll go to 8.
Those are pitched force days, sure. I mean, this does represent a lot of damage in one swing. I guess having the Tinder Wall back is helpful in that regard.
Tinder Wall, strongest card in Belcher. Would you argue that Tinder Wall is objectively
yes, it is the strongest
card
in Legacy, yeah.
In all of Legacy.
I wholeheartedly believe that. I mean, look how many abilities it is. That is, I mean, never mind Deathrite Shaman. This is the 1 mana Planeswalker that we really should be talking about.
Oh, it's amazing. Second Myth Realize. This is...
Okay, though they can only actually activate one of them this turn, like on defense.
And if they want to go defense on Snap, then they...
Yeah, Snap's a chump, so...
Yeah, exactly. So that's relevant.
Though they still have, tap this and tap...
So they're going to take 9 here, go to 7.
Yeah, we're going to lose 3 and go to only 9. So we're a little bit short here. Or at least a little bit short to do it in 2 turns?
Yeah.
Okay.
Classic. So I guess it's better to wait in case we draw Warrens.
But to hold on to the lines right now. Yes. Though we're still going to attack here and...
force the chump. Let's go.
And I'm just going to F6 because we're not going to do anything else here.
They should have activated the other one. Split trade.
Okay, so they take 9, go to 7, and they can have as much as... well, I guess they'll only have 3 blockers here as well.
Yeah, so -3 again puts us down to 6. They go to 1, and then we have 6 attackers. They're on 1 line, and they have 3 blockers.
They may attack here for with their big one.
If they do, it's lethal on our part. We swing back and we kill them. Unless they play another blocker.
Yeah, you're right.
So they're priced into blocking here, and we're just going to attack again. They can never crack that tarn.
This is game 2.
Yes, it is. We won game 1.
Good. We're just going to go for this here, right?
Yeah. You know what I really wish we did? I wish we got Burning Wish for Goblin Warstrike.
Yeah, okay.
Okay.
Snapcaster Plow, probably? Oh, no, they don't have the Plow anymore.
They have to, brainstorm or something like that. That was a pretty good draw on their part.
What did they actually target there with Snapcaster?
Probably Brainstorm.
Brainstorm, yeah. So, though, I mean, they can actually cast it if they want to activate both of these and fetch. Okay, so they're going to fetch. Cast.
So they're still going to go to 1. So we still have him next turn. Is the way this works out.
I mean, we're pretty live to like a Burning Wish as well.
Oh, wow. That changes things.
It does. That was pretty lucky.
That was pretty hot. Clearly, they didn't plan on it. They already activated the Mistress Vector.
Yes.
Jeez. Now, wow.
Yeah, now we're not in good shape.
Oh my.
Any order's fine, being that all of them are goblins. And yeah, we're just going to pass the turn, and we're going to die very, very quickly here.
I mean, there's a chance. We can still rip a Burning Wish.
Yeah, I don't think that actually helps us here.
Yeah, we need one more mana, is it?
Oh, but they passed it back to us, okay.
If we get Burning Wish, we can do Reverent Silence.
That's true.
Come on.
Though now actually with the mana we've got, we can Burning Wish for tendrils to kill them.
Yeah, as well. Standstill, fine. What's the opponent doing?
They're just getting their standstill down before attacking, I guess.
Yeah, I guess so.
It does give them 3 redraws when we try to go off. So it's now or never. That Terminus changed the game pretty.
Jeez. I thought we had it locked up.
Oh, 1 mana away. Okay, well.
That is heartbreaking. That is absolutely heartbreaking. I cannot believe that. Oh, man. Okay. Miracle in general was a trash mechanic, and I still retain that. Because it's just like the ultimate smugness, isn't it? It's just like, I know I'm lucky, and I benefit from it.
I don't know, it's pretty different with top.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, when you build a deck around it, I feel a little bit better about it, but that...
Yeah, this deck definitely has a lot less manipulation, so... I mean, it was a good draw by them. They clearly hadn't set up for it, as you pointed out, because they ended up putting their workshop to the bottom. But you know, sometimes these things happen.
What I really wish happened, it would have been so much better if they just followed through with that logic and activated all the whatchamacallits.
I'm pretty tempted to keep.
Really, we don't have any win condition. Land grants a blank card.
I'm being tempted by this Anti-Swarm, but you're right. We should put this down. This is much better. It's kind of lacking a permanent mana source, but with the probe...
and Xantid Swarm.
Yeah, though, I mean, it's possible that we just can't play Xantid Swarm here, unless we find a land grant. Or Taiga, actually. I think Taiga's probably our best draw. If we draw into Taiga, then we get to play Taiga Xantid Swarm, and next turn go for Burning Wish after attacking.
Surely land grant's the best. Well, I guess the best we could hope for. Our opponent's on the mulligan. They go to 5. If we draw land grant, we can go... that gives us a turn 1. Turn 1, make 1, 2, 3, 4, 10 goblins.
Yeah, okay. We'll keep it and...
try and make 10 goblins on turn 1.
I mean, we'll get to see regardless, because Gitaxian Probe, so...
Wisdom Force!
Terminus, no Brainstorm. Yeah, we're going to go for this and hope for the best.
Goblins.
If they find a Brainstorm, it's pretty bad for us, but...
We just gotta live our life, though. In the words of the great philosophers, YOLO.
Which philosophers was that?
I forget his name. Was it Kanye? Or... I forget.
12 goblins. Oh.
What's up?
Just the fact that they didn't play Ponder. Oh, I also... So they had...
Snap,
Ponder, Terminus?
Yeah, and a land. We could just be dead. I mean, they still gotta, find out a way to kill us, but... And they're on 8.
Yeah, this might be Swords to Plowshares. Which...
Please be...
I think we'd probably be wrong. I'm guessing it's Brainstorm. Yeah, it's Brainstorm.
And we're... Oh my... Jeez!
I mean, they had it. They needed it this turn.
Whatever. I hate this game. Makes me want to cry. Kind of getting heart palpitations here.
We're going to play this pretty quickly here because I don't much like our chances. Oh, yeah, I really don't like our chances now.
Wow. Okay.
I'm not going to bother playing that out.
I'm raging. Like, so raging. Like, talk about threading the needle, man.
Yeah, actually, now that I think about it, they did need Brainstorm exactly that turn.
And they scried to the bottom, didn't they?
Let's have a look. Yeah, they did. They did. So, because the deck's not playing, say, Portent like Miracles normally would, it just has very little ways to activate Terminus, to like draw Terminus on the opponent's turn, for instance.
Yeah, exactly. Is it worth it to play Tinder Wall here as a defender?
I don't think so.
No, it's really worth it.
Yeah, I'm just going to go get it. They might counter this. I think that would be reasonable. It was maybe correct to play Xantid Swarm here.
Man, I'm just so much disappointed. So much.
Can't win them all.
No, you're wrong. You can. It is possible. Technically. It's very unlikely, but you can win them all.
Well, I don't think we're winning them all today. In fact, I know we're not, because we're already a match day.
We've already lost the match, so...
Yeah, okay. I'm going to pay 1 for days. And if they force a... okay, they're not going to, but yeah. Let's...
Nice.
Yep. The old
Classic.
F4 there, I think, to days. That's my bad.
That's alright. I don't think it's a huge difference. I could be wrong.
Well, I mean, it does allow them to get Counterspell now for Xantid Swarm, because we probably wanted to play Xantid Swarm there.
Can you snap Days back and bounce that island to your hand to Days?
No, you can't. And you also can't Snapcaster Force Will either, so...
Yeah, because the flashback cost becomes at CMC, is that right?
Well, it's just because you can only have one alternate casting cost, if that makes sense. So Snapcaster gives it flashback, and because it has flashback, it can't use any other alternate casting cost.
Oh, I get it. You're already using one alternate. Okay.
Yeah, by flashing it back.
Yeah, I get you. So they're just beating down now.
Yeah, looks like it.
Could still get this.
Yeah,
it's
I think so. We're just going to take 5 here. This isn't a flying, right? No.
No. It's like, that's what I asked before. I was like, haha, get wrecked. You can't cast anything.
You can't counter our strongest card in Legacy.
The 1 mana Planeswalker, Tinder Wall.
That was publicly voted, I believe. Strongest card in Legacy, Tinder Wall.
Yeah, I'm actually surprised they haven't banned it.
Okay, so now we've got a block on Snapcaster and Myth Realized. Yeah, they're going to put a counter on it. Sure, which means that we no longer have a block on this.
Yeah, I guess like...
Well, actually, no, they don't have enough mana to do that. What? Oh, right, okay, you were just floating an extra white. So, I mean, if they cast one mid-combat, we wouldn't be able to do anything about it. I think we actually just have to take this here.
Well, we have to block Snap, because otherwise it's lethal.
Yeah, they may not attack with Snapcaster here.
I imagine they would, just to force damage, but...
Because for this to kill us, they need to have, like, 3 instants that they can cast now, which seems really unlikely, so...
I mean, you never know. They could just be like, Brainstorm, Brainstorm, Brainstorm.
They could, but...
they're pretty good at drawing Brainstorm.
They could, like, Brainstorm and then daze their own Brainstorm.
That'd be sick.
So, we're pretty close here, right?
I mean, we do get one more turn, right? Because we can put down a Tinder Wall and block with all of them, and throw Xantid Swarm in front of one of the Myth Realized. I think that's the play. Because there's a chance that we just rip LED.
Sure. Yeah, so we get to keep one of our Tinder Walls here, is that right?
Yeah, I think so.
Snapcaster. That's actually not lethal.
Yeah, not lethal yet. I really hope LED is on top. I just want a revenge rip.
Oh, still in this. Yeah, I mean, it doesn't matter how big those are. They are the Abyss now.
I thought for a moment the opponent was going to Terminus and lol. So like, lol. Terminus. Opponent's at 5. So...
No, they're just activating their Myth Realized.
I was like, oh no. Okay.
So what do we need here?
We need exactly LED.
Yeah, and we will have enough mana here, right?
Yeah, we will, because we can pop Tinder Wall, make 3 mana with Desperate Risk Roll, pay 4 to play Charbelcher. This is all given they don't have a counter.
Yeah, of course.
Well. And then we would be able to activate the Belcher. One time... I saw the artifact, and I was like... Oh...
We're going to see if they have the counter anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks like they do. Huh.
Charbelcher?
They might even let this resolve, even if they do have the counter. Because they could just counter a Lion's Eye Diamond.
Oh,
that was a grindy game.
That was just throws. Jeez. I mean, we played to our outs. I think we played well.
Yeah, I think it was worth keeping on playing even after getting wrecked by that brainstorm there at the beginning. But we still got the one chest there.
Let's see what we would have drawn. I want to see this LED on top of our deck. Okay. I'm fine to leave it there. We don't need to dig any deeper.
Oh, so they didn't have the counter if we'd played it. So if we had drawn LED, they ended up not flusterstorming our Desperate Ritual, then we would have had the win. So yeah, a really close one there. And I guess before we wrap up here, we can open our one treasure chest. Let's open this. And
Moment of truth. Ugh. You can play Tooth and Nail now.
Okay, this seems like a pretty bad pack, but oh well. That was still made our money back there on that 3-2 record, so pretty happy with that.
All right, well, I guess all that's left now is to review Goblin Charbelcher. Right. Now that we've played some games, it's time to think about how good we think Belcher is. This series is all about finding the best combo deck in Legacy. So, Jaren, while we've already discussed all of these ratings ourselves, how about you run our viewers through the categories that we're going to rate Belcher on and any of the other decks that we end up playing in this series?
Yeah, so we settled on 4 different categories to rate the decks upon, and those categories are speed, consistency, resiliency, and pick up and play. So we're rating these on a scale of 1 to 10, where 10 is the best, and then averaging out for an overall rating.
All right, brilliant. So I think it's wise to just start from the top then with speed. Speed is how quickly a deck initiates its combo, or goes off, as you might call it. We've both agreed that for Belcher, it's pretty much a straight up 10 out of 10.
Yeah, I mean, when it comes to speed, it's really safe to say that Belcher is a 10, because it's built to go off on your first turn, and whilst Empty the Warrens may not win the game on the spot, it locks up a lot of games on turn 1.
Mm-hmm. All right, well, I think it's pretty easy then for us to move on to consistency. Consistency is how well the deck mulligans and how redundant its game plan is. So for this category, we've given Belcher a pretty solid 6.
Yeah, looking in particular at redundancy, this deck is basically all mana and win conditions. So with 11 win conditions in the deck, the chance of having an opening 7 with 1 or 2 of them in your hand, that's really what you're looking for to go off, is 1 or 2 win conditions in hand anymore, and it starts to get a little bit harder in terms of mana. The chance of having 1 or 2 is about 65%, which is really consistent for a deck, considering that it's not running Brainstorm and Ponder to search out its combo pieces. The main mark against Belcher for this category is that it needs a critical mass of mana, so if you mulligan down to 5 or lower, then you're likely relying on the top of your deck.
Yeah, and the thing is, I think we saw, even when we were playing the league, there was a couple games where it was like, okay, this is like an okay 6 if we find like our top card is a win condition and we have a redraw, but at the same time, if you mulligan, your chances just get so much worse of finding that right hand. So there's a little bit of a kind of tug of war there sometimes, I think. So the next category is resiliency. Resiliency is basically how well the deck's combo can be initiated through an opponent's disruption. So when we say disruption, we mean things like counter magic, targeted discard, is there some way after you've gone off that the opponent can interact with what you're doing? As we kind of saw in the video, resiliency was a bit of a challenge for Belcher. So we decided to ultimately give it a 4 in this category.
Yeah, as I mentioned during the deck tech, Belcher's is really quite weak against Force of Will, and according to MTG Top 8, about 50% of the metagame is made up of Force of Will decks. So, like, granted, they have to have it in their opening hand for game 1, but once they know that you're playing Belcher, they can mulligan more aggressively to find it, or to find other post-board answers like Flusterstorm.
Well, the thing is, for a couple points actually in Belcher's favor in this category, you know, it's not a complete glass cannon. It doesn't fall to like any sort of disruption. I was actually really surprised at how well the deck stood up to discard effects. So, you know, things like our opponents going turn 1 Thoughtseize, we would have like a Burning Wish and a Goblin Charbelcher and a bunch of mana. And it's kind of like, well, what are you taking there? You know what I mean? Because you can't take us off our way of winning, and we have 5 other ways of making mana. So it puts the opponent in this just really awkward position. And it was really cool to see, actually. I mean, it makes a lot of sense considering how redundant the deck is, but seeing that in action was really cool. Obviously, sometimes there's also the case where we get that heartbreaking Terminus off the top, you know, on turn 2. But overall, I think the biggest thing is counter magic. As far as our last category, it's pick up and play factor. So this one's really straightforward. It's just how easy is it to pilot this deck? How difficult is it to play optimally? For this one, we think that Belcher is actually a bit easier than your average combo deck in Legacy. Obviously, Legacy combo decks can be incredibly complicated. So we think it's a bit easier than most of them, but it still has a bit of play. So we settled on a 6 for that.
Yeah, I mean, Belcher has a couple of really obvious game plans. However, from my time playing it, it strikes me that the difficult decisions are in like knowing how to mulligan correctly, sequencing your plays to encourage your opponent to misplay, especially if you suspect or know that they have a counterspell, and also like knowing what the right lines are to take with your wish board. It gives you a lot of options, the wish board, but sometimes it's not clear what the best option is to take. Another factor which I wasn't that sure on when I was playing was sideboarding for your Xantid Swarm, because I mean, you have quite a small actual sideboard being 5 cards, but I'm not entirely sure what is correct to take out, whether the Manamorphose is the best plan to just take them all out, or whether we should be trimming on some rituals and some other stuff as well. So if you know the answer to that, please let us know in the comments down below.
Yeah, probably would be helpful for future reference, let's say. Well, now that we've gone through all of our categories, all that's left is the moment of truth then. So Jaren, could you give me a drum roll, please? So, putting all of these scores together, that gives us an overall rating of 6.5. Not too shabby, eh?
Yeah, 6.5 is pretty good for our first deck here, and something which we didn't consider in our rating scale was cost, and 6.5 for Belcher is really good because it's one of the cheapest decks in Legacy, especially in paper. So it's about $800 in paper and about 160 ticks on Magic Online, so quite a steal really as far as Legacy is concerned.
Yeah, I mean, there's modern decks that are more expensive than that easily, so yeah, that's actually kind of a huge benefit for some players out there, especially people thinking about getting into Legacy who haven't bought yet. That being said, though, 6.5 for the deck itself, there's still plenty of room for improvement, I think. So I guess, unfortunately, Jaren, it looks like our quest to find the best Legacy combo deck isn't going to end here. I was really hoping we were going to get it on the first video. But for all you watching, make sure you comment and let us know what Legacy combo decks you'd like us to explore, what you'd like to see us play, what you'd like to see us rate, and we'll tell you what we think. Well, this pretty much wraps up the video, so I hope you guys had fun watching, because I think I speak for both of us. We definitely had a lot of fun playing this league. Belcher was a lot of fun, and I definitely got pretty invested. If you're still here, I assume you probably enjoyed the video, so check out our other content on the Vault channel. We've got videos on Constructed, Limited, we have deck techs, box openings, and all that kind of good stuff. If you visit us at murphysvault.com, we have a ton of singles and sealed products to meet your needs, and we also have a blog, which we've linked in the description. It's got plenty of useful articles and resources for players of all levels, really. So thanks for watching. That's it from me, Captain Powerhouse. Anything you'd like to add, Jaren?
Yeah, make sure you subscribe so that you don't miss our future episodes as we continue on our quest to find out which deck is the best Legacy combo deck in Legacy. Is that what we're calling this?
Yeah, we can go with that. Take it easy, folks.